Nightmare Before Christmas is noted to be one of the most famous Halloween movies ever. This movie has had its own dedicated fan base ever since its release back in 1993. But this year, nearly 30 years after its original release, fans have noticed something different. That something in this movie has changed. Didn't know already, A Nightmare Before Christmas follows Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King from Halloween Town itself. Now Jack has just recently discovered that Halloween isn't the only holiday to exist, and actually sets his eye on Christmas. Jack then decides that it would be really cool to take over Christmas for 1 year. And so he has Santa Claus kidnapped, and him and his team decide to take over Christmas, using his dog Zero to lead his reindeer. People love this movie. In fact, this movie is so popular, it's inspired its own ride, loads of merchandise, and not one, but 2 Halloween concerts. One planned for this Halloween, including Danny Elfman as Jack and Billie Eilish as Sally, which is honestly going to be really, really cool. This movie being a staple in many people's Halloween traditions, they actually started watching this movie back in mid-September. And that's whenever fans discovered a brand new Mandela effect inside of the movie. The earliest reference to this Mandela effect I found on September 16th, and someone pointed out that Zero the ghost dog had a new nose. You see, Zero has always had a glowing nose, but most people remember the nose being a red glowing dot, just like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. However, people have now discovered that Zero's nose has changed from that red dot to a jack-o'-lantern. This is weird because I even remember Zero having that red dot. And it's not just the movie that's changed. All the toys and merchandise and decorations have all changed too, from having Zero with a red nose to having Zero with a pumpkin fur nose. Even though most fan art still shows Zero having a red nose. Now with the reports of Zero's nose changing, many people decided to dig out their old copies of the movie and see for themselves.
So, you remember my Tim Burton escapades, the one from 1995? Well, here's my working VHS player. And my freshly rewinded Nightmare Before Christmas copy.
And honestly, what they found is pretty creepy.
Zero! Zero's coming on screen. Come on. Red nose. Wait. It looks like it's a pumpkin.
The change isn't recent. This isn't a new thing that his nose is a pumpkin. For some reason, his nose has always been a pumpkin. Yet we all remember his nose just being a red dot. This is just one of many, many cases of the Mandela effect. If you don't know what the Mandela effect is, then I highly encourage you to go look it up for yourself, because I honestly cannot explain the Mandela effect as well as others can. And you're probably thinking to yourself, like, Gunnar, is this really a big deal? This is a kid's movie, this is a small thing in a kid's movie that's changed. And my answer to that being no, this isn't really a big deal yet. What happens whenever the cases get more severe? What happens whenever people start disappearing or strangers start appearing? What happens when even bigger changes happen? And the scariest thought is, there's nothing we could do to stop this, if all of this is real.
So there's like Mandela effect and the explanation of why some of us experience it and others don't going around. But as a Tim Burton enthusiast, I cannot let this one slide because Zero never had a red nose. When he lights his nose up, it comes off as like a reddish orange color. But you can see here more clearly that it's just a lit up jack-o'-lantern. But during the day it doesn't look as red because it's not dark. And over here when he's, even has it lit up, you can still see the face. So, do with that what you will.
So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you remember Zero always having a red nose, or do you remember Zero having a pumpkin fur nose? Personally, I remember him always having a red nose. I even remember the decorations of him having a red nose. Specifically, I can remember going to Spirit Halloween and seeing like one that you would hang up on your front porch. I remember seeing that with a red nose. And I know this because after I saw the change with the jack-o'-lantern for a nose, I remember thinking that that was really cool and how much I like that more than I like the original red nose. So there you have it, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to be nice to each other.